Hello everyone, we are students of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit Vishwavidyalaya and we are here to present our idea on topic development of passive upper limb exoskeleton to reduce workplace related injuries. The content of this presentation are as follows: introduction, objective, literature survey, methodology, results and future scope. Musculoskeletal disorders or MSDs are injuries or pain in human musculoskeletal systems, including the joints, ligaments, muscles, nerves, tendons, and structures that support limbs, neck, and back. Some examples of musculoskeletal disorders are sprains, strains, and tears, back pain, carpal tunnel syndrome, and hernia. Back symptoms are among the top 10 reasons for medical visits. For 5 to 10% of patients, the back pain become chronic. Musculoskeletal disorders that occur due to the non-ergonomic work environments are called work-related musculoskeletal disorders. The global prevalence of MSDs range from 14 to as high as 42%. On the other hand, in India, epidemiological studies indicate the community-based prevalence of about 20% and occupational specific prevalence found to be as high as 90% in various studies. In addition to this, the World Health Organization (WHO) also estimates that 40% of people over the age of 60 years suffers from MSD and about 80% of people have had low back pain at some point in their life. This graph shows prevalence of musculoskeletal disorder in workers reported in India. In a study conducted by VBRE and others, the following table was presented as a result. The table shows the percentage of people among the test population that showed some symptoms of musculoskeletal disorder. Overall, 25.9% of the tested population showed some symptoms of musculoskeletal disorder.
An exoskeleton, as the name suggests, is an external frame that can be worn to support the body, either to help a person overcome an injury or to enhance their biological capabilities. Exoskeleton is a device that can be helpful in solving these problems and reducing the ear lift with disability in workers. The objective of our idea is that the exoskeleton should be lightweight, the exoskeleton should be easily wearable, the exoskeleton should be cheap and easy to manufacture, the design should not hinder the free motion of the user. Let us talk about some history of the exoskeleton. The first examples of functioning exoskeletons did not appear until the 1930s. By the 1950s, there was researchers focused on developing mechatronics for exoskeletons. Then in the 1960s, the US Department of Defense began to develop an exoskeleton system and General Electric Corporation developed a wearable robot. Subsequently, there was a little notable progress until the 1990s when advances in material technologies enabled lighter, stronger exoskeleton to be developed. Then in the 2000s, advances in microelectronics and computer power enabled development in wearable robotics. Throughout, there have been exchanges between research for healthcare applications and research for military applications. This is the image of the first powered exoskeleton. General Electric developed the first exoskeleton device in the 1960s called the Hardiman. It was a hydroelectrical bodysuit, however, it was too heavy and bulky to be of military use. Types of exoskeleton. Exoskeleton can be majorly classified into two types, active and passive. Active exoskeleton. Active system comprised of one or more actuators to augment the human's power. An actuator is a part of a device or machine that helps it to achieve physical movements by converting energies, often electrical, air, or hydraulic, into mechanical forces. Simply put, It is the component in any machine that enables movement. Passive exoskeleton. Passive system use material compliance to provide gravity compensation or spring elastic members to store and release energy during the movements to assist worker to perform physical movements. Furthermore, exoskeletons can be classified on the basis of coverage of the body. For example, the one we are researching is called passive upper limb exoskeleton. This means that the exoskeleton supports the upper limb of the user. Similarly, there are exoskeletons that can cover the whole body and are called full body exoskeletons. Exoskeletons have a broad application area. In the military area, it can provide soldiers the ability to carry heavy loads and increase their march speed and hardiness. In the civil areas, it can be applied in mountaineering, tour, firefighting, and disaster relief, etc., where vehicles can't reach and carry heavy loads if necessary. Exoskeleton also can serve as a rehabilitation robot and help people who partly lost their walking ability due to stroke, elderly age, and lower limb deformity. These are the images of various applications of exoskeletons.
In this section, we will talk about the components of the exoskeleton assembly. The whole assembly can be divided into three sections: backplate, gear and spring mechanism, shoulder joint. Backplate. The backplate is designed to support the whole mechanism and transfer the load from the arm to the lower body uniformly when fully assembled. The backplate also has slots to accompany the shoulder joint and provide smooth movement of the linkages. Gear and spring mechanism. The mechanism uses a spring to assist the user in handling and supporting the load. Two gears with a gear ratio of 2 to 1 are used to convert the angular motion of arm into an extension of the spring. All these parts are mounted on a support plate. Out of the two gears, the larger one is fixed to the shoulder joint and cannot rotate, whereas the smaller one is mounted on the support plate and free to rotate. The support plate has a strap to adhere it to the upper limb. The support plate rotates with the arm. As the support plate rotates the large fixed gear, the smaller gear also rotates, expanding the spring. This provides the torque response required to assist the user. Shoulder joint. The joint consists of two links to provide a full 3 degrees of freedom to the shoulder for non-hindered motion. This is the isometric view of the fully assembled exoskeleton design we have created. These are some more perspective views from left and right side. Future scope. Passive exoskeletons can improve the ergonomics of the workplace and user with minimal changes. Exoskeletons are currently low volume. They could be less expensive if they were produced in higher volumes, making it affordable to smaller organizations. Exoskeletons promise more options of mobility for the differently abled in terms of assisting impaired motor control and for those afflicted with injuries such as spinal cord injuries that completely restrict movement. Thank you.